Do you want to generate more leads for your MSP and turn them into paying clients? We're going to be breaking down funnels, specifically marketing funnels, and when it turns into a sales funnel. And basically, I want you to steal this process. If you've never built a funnel before, if you're never like, I don't really know where it goes, this is going to be the video for you. You could steal it verbatim, step by step, and implement it for your MSP to start generating real leads who are going to turn into real customers. How are you doing? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just two really quick things. Number one is if you haven't checked out our website already, I highly recommend going and checking it out, growth-generators.com. In this case, I'm on the resources page, but you could see everything from our programs to about us, the services that we offer, but more importantly, I love the resources. And hey, if you're a vendor, you want to reach out, feel free to contact us. But the resources page is full of free stuff that you could grab, download, including some of the resources I'm going to mention in today's video, as well as our blog, the free Discord community, a link to the YouTube channel, and more importantly, the podcast, so you could take this on the go whenever you would like. So that's number one. Number two is I'm going to mention specifically a layout in this video. If you'd like to download it, that and other super helpful links will be in the video description or podcast description if you're listening to the MSP Heroes podcast as well. So let's talk about what is a marketing funnel. And truthfully, a marketing funnel is a process where you could go from people not knowing who you are, right? They are learning about your business. We'll call it the awareness stage, all the way through to the decision stage where they hopefully open up their checkbook and give you some money, or hopefully sign a contract for a recurring revenue business transaction, right? So there's three parts to this process that I'm going to be mentioning. So there's tofu, and not the type that you eat, but the top of funnel. This is all the way up top where people are learning about your business. They're becoming aware of who you are, your business, who you serve, how you help them, all of the good, juicy details. But they're just aware. They're not really ready to consider something, right? Which brings us to the second part, MOFU, the middle of the funnel. As you can see, where the acronyms are going. And this is where they're considering you. They're considering your business. They're looking at you and saying, you know what? Maybe it is something I want to move forward with, right? But they're not quite there. They're considering it. They haven't quite decided, you know what? I want to submit my contact information and have this company reach out to me, hopefully to move forward through the sales process. And then the last part, which is called, you probably guessed it, BOFU, bottom of funnel, right? And this is really the decision stage. This is where they're like, you know what? This is something that I want to move forward with. They've kind of already figured out, like, you know what? Maybe it's something we need. Maybe it's not something we need. The decision stage is they are making a decision. It's just whether or not it's going to be your MSP or it's going to be somebody else's MSP. That's really going to be the key differences here throughout this process. So let's talk about the awareness stage. And I'm going to share my screen here in a second, but the real goal is to attract our potential leads. In this case, I'm going to just share it out here, and we're going to dive into it a little bit. So we have our target market, right? Our dream customer, the person that if I said, hey, who would you love to give you tons and tons of money? And the appropriate answer is not everybody, right? But a very specific set of businesses. We actually have our funnel over here all the way on the entry side and then over to the sales part of it, right? The tofu all the way down to the bofu, bottom of funnel. And you'll call it the bottom of the funnel. What people have a ton of different names for it, right? But we want to look at this discovery area, right? They are getting interested. They're learning about the business. They're going through blog posts, ads, cold calls, cold emails. What do they see first when it comes to your business? This could also simply start with meeting them, shaking their hand at a networking event. It doesn't have to be behind a screen. Now, remember, this is the awareness stage. They haven't traded information yet. Now, they could say, here's my business card, and they could not say that. but now they know who you are. They're aware of who you are. This is really, really important because as time progresses, they're going to find more and more information, right? Now we have the second part of this little funnel here, right? And you'll see in here, you'll see the free offer. This is called the middle of the funnel or MOFU, right? The MOFU is all about building trust and establishing authority. At this point, they should have seen some kind of landing page that says, hey, if you're interested in learning more, click this button, right? They click it, they could see what they're going to get, right? Just like if you decide to grab this, you'll see it. It'll have a nice little landing page. You'll click a button, it'll say, what's your information? Where do we send this to? And then you're going to give us your information, and then in return, we'll send you this. Full transparency. I'm teaching you marketing. You might as well see it in real time and what's actually happening. But we have to make sure that they understand that they're getting something of equal or greater value than their contact information. Now, what I've written here, a free offer, right? A masterclass, consultation, dark web scan, giveaway, something to get them to give us their contact information. Now, this gets a little wonky, and I'm going to break it down a little bit. And when I say wonky, just if you're on the YouTube channel, you'll see the video here, but they're going to end up making a decision, right? And now they're starting to go through the BOFU, the bottom of the funnel, right? They're getting from this is partially marketing, right? All the way up top to they're making a decision. They're going to say, hey, this is something that we may or may not want to do. And this is where it gets a little crazy because now we're at the BOFU. This is converting a lead into a paying client, right? Sales calls, proposals, discovery calls, these are all things that are going to be happening in that BOFU. In this case, what I've written down on the sheet is book a call, right? / meeting. They have to book some kind of meeting. Then after they book it, they have to have some kind of needs assessment done, a discovery meeting. Something has to happen. If something doesn't happen here, the sale cannot move further down the road, right? In this case, I hope that you get that discovery meeting. You go to that discovery meeting, you build out your proposal, you present your proposal, and ultimately, I hope that you close the deal, right? And if they decide to move forward, we have an onboarding. And if they decide not to move forward, they're going to have an automated sequence. But this, believe it or not, just this half of the sheet is quite literally the entire sales and marketing funnel that somebody could go through, what I would call a MVP, a minimum viable product. You could steal this 100% and roll this entire thing out. And I'm going to go through some tips and tricks at the end of this and what I've written on the right-hand side of the screen to make it even more valuable. But first, I would like to ask you to, one, hit the subscribe button, the like button, the notification bell. Truly, it helps the channel tremendously. And two is we have to talk about the tool that's going to allow us to do this. Now, I'm not saying you can't do this on your WordPress website or wherever else you decide to build websites. But what I can tell you is you do need some tool that can do this for you. Now, you guys already know that I absolutely love Go High Level. It's probably one of my favorite programs out there, especially when it comes to marketing. So if you go over here, you can go to gohighlevel.com, where there will be an affiliate link down below. But you can go here, you can go grab the program. It also comes with the membership, MSP Heroes. But you could start to use that. Now, you don't have to use Go High Level. You can use HubSpot, you can use Zoho, ActiveCampaign, Unbounce, Lead Pages. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But the core principle of this is we have to have people finding out about it. Then they have to be able to submit contact information and trigger out an automation following that. So whatever platform you decide to have, it needs a landing page with the actual ability to deliver what you're promising to these people, and then emails on the back end, which I'll cover here in a little bit. But that's truly what you need to do to have a basic marketing and sales funnel kind of combine into one to make your life a million times easier. And then you could go into optimizing, A/B testing, getting super crazy where you're tracking conversions and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, believe it or not, it is quite literally that simple. Now, I always leave my secret sauce / my golden nuggets all the way to the end. And in this case, we have quite a few of them I would like to go through. Throughout this process, we need to automate as much as possible. The last thing that we want to do is we don't want to have to do the hard work. Imagine you're getting 3, 4, 5, 10 leads per day, even if it's 3 leads per day. Imagine if you had to stop your work 3 times per day and send out emails every single day. At some point, one, it's going to be too many emails for you to send out. But two, people are going to start to slip through the cracks. And that's the last thing that we want to have happen to us. Throughout this process, we have to understand and go through. People are going to be receiving emails. And in here, I actually put in, they're going to get a free offer slash masterclass, consultation, dark web scan, giveaway, whatever it might be. They're going to make a decision. If they decide not to move forward and book a meeting, they're going to get an automated email sequence. And that email sequence should be jam packed full of value. Now, at some point or another, they're going to be getting a bunch of emails. They're going to make a decision to either say, goodbye, I'm unsubscribing, or hopefully they decide to say at some point or another, it's probably worth booking a meeting. Now, this is going to happen in two distinct parts. One, when they're getting this freebie, whatever it may be, to enter into your system. But the second part of this is actually when they go through and they decide to make a decision, or they're at that decision-making process, they might not decide to move forward. And that's the worst thing in the world. But what we can do is leverage an automated email sequence until we get them to either say yes or, unfortunately, no. And you can see here, if they decide no, it might not be the right time, in which case we give them more free offers, things that consistently add more value, or as some people in the industry call it, value stack. But I want to talk a little bit about the email that you should be sending, because I feel like a lot of people get this really, really wrong. We want to make an offer every 3 to 5 emails as a standard practice across the board. The first email should be value worksheet, right? It's going to be that video, that blog, whatever it is that you promise them. That's what they should be getting. The second email is going to be the value worksheet, either again with supporting information, maybe a supporting video, a supporting blog, a supporting bit of information in case they didn't download it the first time on how to actually use it. Now, the third email is making an offer for a discovery meeting, and you can continuously do this process over and over again. The fourth email, more value, a valuable worksheet, valuable video, valuable blog, anything like that, maybe even a valuable story. Fifth email, value worksheet, video, blog, and then the sixth email, so on and so forth, making an offer for a discovery meeting. But it's this basic automation here. You can either steal that directly and use it for your own MSP, or tweak and modify it, which I hope that you do over time to best fit your dream customers. And you don't have to send these emails every single day. They could be every other day, every 3 days. You could sporadically every two, maybe then three, then two, whatever works for you and your business. But the goal is, as I mentioned before, is optimizing this. We have to optimize every aspect of this. Every single aspect that you see here, from the discovery, right, learning about your business, to the blog post that they're going to see, all of this can be A/B tested to have the highest chance of conversion possible, to give you the best chances of success with marketing and sales in your business. Now, before you go, I do want to leave you with just some common mistakes I keep seeing with people over and over and over again. Number one is they're not following up with leads. I can't even believe I have to say it, but they're not following up with leads. You have to make sure that you're following up with leads quickly. There's a thing called speed to lead, and that is how quickly you get contact information to how quickly you actually call them slash reach out to them. I cannot believe how many people don't call their leads. And quite honestly, we all get tons of spam calls. Every once in a while, there's a lead buried in there, and you have to be aware of that and make sure you treat every phone call, especially to your business line, as a potential lead reaching out. Number two is they neglect the middle of the funnel. This is probably the most important area, right? Where they're kind of considering, they might make one offer, but they don't provide enough value in the emails for the person to ultimately make a decision to say, hey, I'd like to move forward, right? They're not giving enough value there. Third, they're overcomplicating it. Marketing and sales can be tremendously daunting, especially if you don't know what you're doing with them. And that's why I would recommend checking out our membership, MSP Heroes. Truthfully, it's going to help you a lot. We're working on a tremendous marketing course right now. I will leave a link down below. But the amount of people that I've seen where they just imagine all these lines on my background, right? These are all different aspects and just angles and movements of a process. Don't complicate the process. Make it as simple as possible and tweak and modify along the way. But some people come out with these huge processes that they never actually get to execute because they're too overcomplicated. And number four, please personalize your emails. Know who you're talking to. The first thing that I started this video out with was your target customer, the perfect client. Too many people forget about their perfect client. Make this entire sales and marketing process about your perfect client, and you will see your conversions, your sales go through the roof because it'll be personalized to them. They'll feel like the marketing is exactly geared towards them, and that conversion rate will go incredibly high. I see it over and over and over again when we work with MSPs that when they start to focus on their dream customers, sales and marketing becomes almost too easy. But now they get in the rhythm of bringing on new customers on a regular basis, allowing their MSP to grow rapidly. So I wish you nothing but success in your MSP. I've earned a like button, a subscribe button, a notification bell at this point. The link to this will be down in the video description or the podcast description, whatever you're listening to. Love you guys as always. I hope you're having a fantastic start to 2025, and I'll see you guys later.